Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at a classic Swiss Army knife model. This is the Pioneer with Alex handles or aluminum handles. Victorinox likes to call it Alex handles. The handle scales are black with nice looking but very shallow checkering. The checkering helps a tiny bit if your hands are sweaty, but it's mostly there for looks. Now this particular Swiss Army knife model, Victorinox usually makes yearly limited editions of it. The only difference from the standard one that you're looking at now and the yearly limited editions is that those have different handle colors, and that is literally it. Usually brighter, more fun handle colors that Victorinox puts out once a year, limited edition. Let's take a look at the tools, and yes, I will have measurements in the description below. You have your main knife blade, you have a push forward can opener with an eyeglasses screwdriver tip. Now that eyeglasses screwdriver tip is not the best. You're better off with a dedicated eyeglasses screwdriver tip, but it gets the job done. You have a very impressive awl. Now that's not a sewing awl or a reamer. As you can see, there's no eye cut into the awl at all. So if you need to stitch up a canvas bag that tore open, this one is not going to help you with that. It is very good for putting holes into rather thick leather belts, although you do have to muscle it a bit. This is one of the better awls that I've seen made available on multi-tools and Swiss Army knives or knives in general. It will require a bit of muscle though. It works effectively. It is somewhat sharp on the bottom, but yeah, you're going to have to muscle it a bit. We also have a split ring. You can put a lanyard through that. You can put a bigger key ring through that. Carry it on your keys. I'm not quite sure why you'd want to. This is not a small keychain knife. This is a pocket knife. But if you want to, you could. But that split ring is better off with a lanyard attached to it. And finally, you have the combination large screwdriver, bottle opener, wire stripper tool. Now, none of these tools lock in place. This is a slip joint knife, which means if you live in a particularly restrictive jurisdiction, this is going to be street legal, where most knife models, especially locking knife models, won't be street legal. So if you're in the UK and you want to carry a knife with you because you find it handy and useful, check out Victorinox's line of knives. And I do encourage you to check out the Pioneer. This is a very good Swiss Army knife model, if a bit basic, I'll be honest with you. Now, as I said, none of these tools lock in the open position, but as is common with Alex handled Swiss Army knives in particular, the tools do open up rather stiffly. So if you're careful, you don't have to really worry about them coming down on your fingers. Although again, being a slip joint, this knife is not made for heavy duty work. It's not made for medium duty work. Basically, use the tools properly. Don't try to use them for things they were not intended for, and you should be okay. Now, even though none of the features lock into place, the bottle opener does have two stops. You're seeing the first one here, which is shared with all the other tools, basically the fully open position, and it has a 90-degree stop, which I'm sure you just heard. There it is, 90 degrees. So when the rest of these tools are folded down, and let's pretend I folded down the blade, you can hold it in your hand 90 degrees, turn any screw you need. Now let's check out the tang on the blade, if my camera will hopefully focus. It doesn't seem to want to. Okay. Well, yeah, it says Victorinox and a few other things. The blades are mirror polished, so they do look nice. Here it is in the fully open position. There you go. Now I can get my thumb and all four of my fingers onto the handle, but my pinky is basically right up against the split ring. That's the only purchase it has, literally the split ring. Again, I have medium-sized hands with short fingers. Now, as I said, this is a basic Swiss Army knife model, but it is a very good one. You can see those black aluminum handle scales. You can see how wonderfully thin they are. They are obviously more robust than the standard plastic handle scales on most Swiss Army knives. Definitely more robust. The only real disadvantage with buying one of the Alex or aluminum handled Swiss Army knives is that you lose the toothpick and tweezers. Now, my experience, the Victorinox toothpick, not very useful. It's too thick. It really is. Not very useful, but the tweezers are rather useful. So, unfortunately, you do lose that, but you get handle scales that don't easily pop off, unlike the plastic ones. And you get a knife that just looks nicer, but it's going to be a little bit heavier in your pocket. So there you go, guys. This is a nice basic Swiss Army knife, their standard Pioneer model. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.